What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Nuggles YouTube channel. Today is Tuesday, so like always, we're playing a Rogue Tuesday deck. And I know I've been hyping up this Pidgeot-EX deck a lot, and I really do love this deck a lot. So if you don't know, Pidgeot-EX has this mirror move attack. If this Pokemon was damaged by an attack during your opponent's last turn, this attack does the same amount of damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. So this might smack you for 100, you can do 100 back to him. This smacks you for 180, you do 180 back to him, which is fantastic. And actually, Faded is a pretty decent attack as well. 80, and this attack does 20 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So if your opponent decides not to attack you, they're trying to one-shot you instead, well, you can start Featherlancing and put pressure on them that way, which is fantastic. Now, of course, with Pidgeot-EX, we're going to use Max Potion. Max Potion lets you heal all the damage from your Pokemon, but you discard all energy attached to it. Luckily, Mirror Move just needs one energy, so it's not too hard to set up. You can do this fairly constantly over and over again, which is fantastic. You got Puzzle Times to reuse any two cards in your discard pile, so you constantly keep using the Mirror Move over and over again with the Max Potions and Metal Energies and stuff like that, and you're going to be good to go. Now, we do play 4 Fighting Fury Belts, just so you can have 40 more HP and do additional 10 more damage. So now your Pidgeot-EX has 210 HP, which is like a super tank, and you're constantly healing it every turn, and then your opponent's not knocking you out, and I mean, things get crazy, and it's going to be really hard for your opponent to deal with this Pidgeot-EX, which is what we want to do while playing this deck. Now, deck plays 2 Shaymin to help set up, and 1 Mr. Mime. Now, what Mr. Mime does is actually prevent you from Fright Night Evital and Pokemon that can snipe your bench. So, because you have bench barrier, prevent all damage done to your bench Pokemon by attacks. So, if you're playing against Fright Night, they can do 60 to active, and they can't do anything to a bench like a hitter EX, which is fantastic. And I think bench barrier is actually a really cool ability that we haven't seen that much played, and I think it's needed in a bunch of decks. Now, we do play 1 Magearna, because why not? Prevent all effects of your opponent's attacks except damage done to each of your Pokemon that has any metal energy attached to it. So that way, if you get a paralyzed or something like that, you can make a Metal Energy does not, or you can make a Beginner does not work. It's just always cool. And then Soul Blaster could be a cool game finisher, Soul Blast for 120. Just randomly stick a Metal in Magearna and be at any moment you can Soul Blaster for 120, which is very threatening. And 1 Hoopa, like always. In most EX decks nowadays, they search for 3 EX Pokemon. We've already been to the 3 Max Potion, 4 Puzzle. Of course, like always, 4 Trainers Mail, 4 Ultra Ball, and 4 via Seeker for maximum consistency. 2 Lysandre, bring a Pokemon off the bench. 3 in, 1 Olympia. You can heal 30 damage and switch out the active. So if you're somebody gets Lysandre up, you can just immediately Olympia, which I do like this in one of almost every deck now. 1 Pokemon Stimulating, which can heal 60 and remove all special conditions from one of your Pokemon. So if your opponent hits you for 60, you can just Pokemon Stimulating, immediately heal that damage off and still mirror move for that damage, which is fantastic. 1 Ranger, just to get rid of effects, mostly for Jolteon. I guess that's the biggest one, because if you don't have a way to beat Jolteon and Regice, you just lose. But you gotta constantly hit Ranger and all that stuff. Now, luckily, if Jolteon hits you, they hit you for 120. Because it hits for 60, if I remember correctly. And if weakness 120, then your Max Potion energy hit him back for 120 with the Ranger, which might be hard to do, but you have VS Seekers and you have Puzzle Time to reuse those over and over again, which is fantastic. 4 Sycamore. And 3 Faded Town, just so we can do more damage to those Mega Evolution decks, because they will take a little bit longer to knock out, because they do have a lot more HP, but luckily with Faded Town, we can do additional 2 damage counters on those Pokemon. 4 Fighting for Real, so of course our Pokemon have 40 more HP, 2 Float Stone to give those Hoopas and the Mr. Mime's free retreat, most likely the Hoopa, or most for the Hoopas, because it has 2 retreat costs. Everybody else has a 1, Magearna has a 1, Mr. Mime has a 1, and Shaymin has a 1 as well. 4 DCE, so that we can try and get that Featherlance attack ASAP, and 7 Metal Energy. Now, one cool thing you could do with this deck, if your opponent's not attacking your Pidgeot, you can DC a Shaymin, Sky Return to Pidgeot with the Float Stone on it, so you constantly hit a Sky Return with a Pidgeot, and when they finally start attacking you, you can just mirror move for maybe the knockout, which is needed sometimes. But guys, there we go. There's the Pidgeot-EX mirror move deck. It's a fairly simple concept. Just leave Pidgeot-EX in the act spot, let it hit you, then you Max Potion, Metal Energy, and keep going. The party never stops. Now, if you want to, you could cut maybe the Magearna for a second Max Potion, or something else for not for a second Max Potion, for a 4th Max Potion, just so you can increase the healing over and over again. But guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and let's see this deck in action. Alright, so opponent gets 1, 2, 3, Orlando or Taro, playing a Steel, Psychic, and a Colorless deck, which might mean a Mega Scizor deck, which actually be really good for us because Mega Scizor can't really one-shot our Pidgeots, which is fantastic. So go ahead like always, and we won the coin flip, which is great, and hopefully we're going to start with that Pidgeot-EX, and if we do, we might just like pass, because like I said, he really can't knock us out. There's a Pidgeot, a Max Potion, a DCE, so we actually have a really good turn 1. I just kind of wish we had a Fighting Fury Belt, but regardless, we should be okay. Either way, I mean, we're going to put down Pidgeot, just pass. He can do some stuff. We'll probably just pass again until he hits us. Like I said, if it is Mega Scizor, the max he can do is 120, and we don't have weakness or resistance to that, which is fantastic. So, let's see, and there is a Scizor. Alright, so like I said, I'm just going to press done. On to our opponent's turn. We're really not going to do much. And this Scizor is not going to knock us out either. We got Max Potion, we got Ultra Ball, we got VSC, we got a bunch of stuff in our hand. Alright, so Metal Dream goes to the active. And we'll see an ant, so both of us get a new hand of 6. Now, he could use Steel Wing for 20. Yeah, so, Pokemon Stimulator, which is fantastic. So we get to heal that 20 damage off regardless that he's going to hit with us. We have a Max Potion for later on. And like I said, the max he could do is 120, and then we could do 120 to him. And then things start getting very interesting, but we do have Puzzle Times already in our hand. And let's see what does he decide to do. Probably just Steel Wing. If he does that, we'll Pokemon Stimulator, heal our Pidgeot. There's a Silent Lab coming down, which don't care too much about that. We do play our own Faded Towns. And we'll see a Steel Wing for 20. So our turn is going to be fairly simple. We are just going to Pokemon Stimulator. And we will just pass. Yep, we'll just pass on to our opponent's turn. Alright, so our opponent's turn, they're going to draw a card. I know this is very exciting, but I mean, next turn might be more exciting. We can Max Potion DCE, go for the Mirror move, do 120. And then next turn we can knock out Scizor because we have another Max Potion, double Puzzle Time, stuff like that. So it's going to be really interesting here in a couple of turns, but right now we're just slowly getting set up. There's a Metal Dream going to the active, and do we see a Mega Scizor? He could go for the Gelthra, so Sycamore. Go to discard his hand, draw 7 new cards. Does he find a Link and a Mega Scizor? If he does, he could hit us. But like I said, we have Max Potion DCE, but then he could discard a DCE, but we're playing Max Potion regardless, and just a Mega Scizor onto our turn. Alright, so it's a Float Stone. We'll press done again onto our opponent's turn. Alright, so I mean, this turn, something should finally happen. Our opponent should attack us. There's a Scizor coming down, okay. There's a Max Scizor. You can look at top cards of their deck, and let's see, what do they find? There's a Metal Dream going to the Scizor, okay. And we'll most likely see an Iron Crusher for 120, but then we have Max Potion, we have a DC, we could take it, we could do 120 back to this guy, which is fantastic. So we see 120. Alrighty, so let's see, we have 50. Okay, so we will Max Potion the active, put a DC on it, and we will go for Mirror Move for 120 damage. There we go, that's what I want to see. Alright, so onto our opponent's turn. He might want to retreat to this guy and Gelthra us for a ton of damage. That's probably the best play. The only annoying thing right now is Silent Lab's in play, so we can't like Ultra Ball for Shaymin or anything like that. If we top deck Faded Town, we might be okay, but things start getting weird, so Metal Dream going to that guy, and he'll probably retreat and use... Oh no, he's going to Iron Crush just for 120, which is fantastic. So what we can do now is we can use that Max Potion, Puzzle Time for Max Potion to DCE, and hopefully find a Metal Energy in. No, there's a Faded Town, which does work. Alright, so Faded Town. We will Ultra Ball, discarding 1 and 2. To grab a Shaymin. The only problem is he plays a Lysandre. Lysandre could get our Shaymin up. Do what to drop a Shaymin or not? Like, we really need to get set up. See, I'm gonna grab Shaymin. I'm gonna Max Potion the active. And then I'm going to Shaymin set up for 4 new cards. And hopefully we can find a Metal Energy. Because I really don't use Double Puzzle for just a DCE. Alright, so there's a DCE. Alright, so we'll DC the active. And we will Mirror Move for the knockout. But then if he gets a Mega Scizor, he can knock us as well. But there we go, guys. We're doing great. We'll go down to 4 price cards. There is a Magearna and a Sycamore. Okay, so we finally have a Sycamore. We can finally start doing stuff, which is fantastic. So on to our opponent's turn, they're going to draw a card. And he could, like, Link. There's a Crushing Hammer. Okay. Tails not going to discard the energy. Another Crushing Hammer. Head's going to discard the DCE. Okay. We do have double puzzle for like double DCE. There's a Cobalion coming down, which is not too scary. The max it can do is 180. There's a Faded Silent Lab coming down, and we might see a Gelthra for 50. He didn't bring it up this turn. It was in between turns, so that doesn't really count. So there is a VS Seeker for Sycamore. Go and discard the hand, draw 7 new cards. It does our opponent find a Link and a Mega Scizor. So we see a Trainers Mail. Go look at top cards of their deck, and there's a Scizor Spilling, so they can put that on the active. But if he gets a Mega Scizor hits us, I'm definitely puzzle timing for like a Max Potion and a DC, Max Potion, DC, Sycamore, discard a hand, or Ultra Ball for another Pidgeot most likely as well. So Scizor going to discard or get a new hand of 6 or 7. Okay, sorry, Sycamore going to get a new hand of 7. I think regardless, there's a Shield Ranger going to the active, which still takes a knockout. 110 times 2 is 220. There's an Ultra Ball. We will see a Mega Scizor coming online. All right, so Ultra Ball. Go discard a Mega Turbo or something else to get out a Mega Scizor most likely. And this is actually, like I said, it's a fantastic matchup. He can keep discarding energy, but he's never going to one-shot us, especially when we get this fighting throughout on the Pidgeot-EX. Like, Cabalion's never going to knock us out. So, Mega Scizor coming down, okay. And we will see an Iron Crusher for 120, but we have Double Puzzle for a Max Potion DC. Can play that and hit our opponent back for 120, which is fantastic. We can also, like, Lysandre Cabalion, take a knockout that way if we want to be that aggressive. But I think right now I want to hurt this Scizor more likely. So, play Puzzle Time. We'll get back a Max Potion and a DC, okay. So we will Max Push in the active, put a DC down, Fighting Fear Build, Ultra Ball, discard 1 and 2 to grab another Pidgeot-EX, just to have another one on the field, which is fantastic. I do have Shaymin on the field, which is pretty bad, but we'll be okay. We'll put down Pidgeot-EX, no Sycamore. We really don't need Magearna. I don't think it's going to help us in this matchup. And there's a Float Stone, Trainers Mail, and an Ultra Ball. It's not a good card's hand. It's not a good hand for sure, but we'll Mirror Move for 120. Okay, so 120, and on to our opponent's turn. Let's see what can they do. Now, they could discard a DC next turn, do another 120, but then we could knock them out. And if you Lysandre Shaymin, what we could do is Featherlands for 80. And then if we get a Faded Town, we actually can knock out this Mega Scizor this turn if he does Lysandre Shaymin and try to be aggressive that way, which is fantastic. So they receive VS Seeker for an in, so go down to 4, he gets 6, okay? I'm actually fine with this. It's not a Lysandre, so he has to hit the active Pidgeot or just pass. But I imagine he will smack us for 120. There's a Metal, DCE, some other stuff. So there's an Ultra Ball. Going to discard 2 cards from his hand. Going to get another Scizor online most likely. So discards a Shaymin and a Shaymin. He does not put those Shaymins on the field, which is pretty funny. All right, so he's going to hit us for 120. But can we find a Max Potion? We've already played 2. We have 210. Okay, so Scizor coming down. Scizor Spear Link. Okie dokie. And we will see a hit for 120. Now, we can knock him out this turn, which is fantastic. He's going to discard the DC. And what do we top deck? Do we top deck a Max Potion or not? So, onto our turn, we get a Metal Energy. Okay, that's a lot of energies in our hand, which is very unfortunate. But we'll just put a Metal Energy in the active. Use Mirror Move for the knockout, going down to 2 prize cards. Alrighty, and this is great. Can I want to get another Mega Scizor out this turn or not? There's a Pidgeot and a Sycamore. Because what we could do next turn, and Victor's could come down, and we take the game against the Mega Scizor deck. And that's what happens when you play against a deck that doesn't knock out your Mega, or knock out your Pidgeot. So you can constantly mirror move back to like constantly over and over again. You have Max Potion Puzzle Times, and there we go. Our opponent conceded the game, realized they probably couldn't do too much. I think they already discarded like multiple Mega Turbos, and they probably didn't have a way to attack us the following turn, and then we could have swung for 80 with the second attack, and then, like I said, pull that combo off and made me using like Mirror Move for 120 plus a Faded Town could have taken a knockout, but we'll see one more game with the Pidgeot-EX deck, and hopefully we get another victory using Mirror Move, which is still like, that's amazing, but we'll see what happens in the next game. Hopefully it's another victory. Alright, so putting against Master Gilu, are we putting against another Scizor deck? I would definitely make Colors, Metal, and Psychic, which definitely looks like another Mega Scizor deck. And you might be wondering, why is Mega Scizor so popular online right now? Well, that's because this weekend, going into regionals, Mega Gardevoir is really hyped, and a lot of people are like predicting Mega Scizor to be really well. All right, but our hand is not the greatest unless we top deck Ultra Ball. If we top deck Ultra Ball, we can get a Hoopa, Scizor, etc. for 3 EX Pokemon and be good to go. So press done. And let's see what does our opponent get out. And do we top deck a Hoopa or not? That'd be fantastic. So 2 Pokemon go to our opponent. And there's a Pidgeot. Is this a mirror match? Is this a mirror match? Is this really happening right now? Are we really playing against a mirror match? It looks like a mirror match. I did not think this day would come. Okay, so how do we want to play this mirror match? Like right now we have a lot of good cards in our hand that I do not want to discard, so I'm just going to pass right now onto our opponent's turn, okay? Things are going to get really interesting playing this game. So Float Stone going down to Magearna, okay. Is this a mirror match? Is this a mirror match? It looks like a mirror match. I thought for sure it was Mega Scizor, but maybe it's not. There's a Pidgeot Magearna. Does somebody know our secrets? What's going on right now? Alright, so alright, that's good. So both get a new hand of 6, okay. I mean, I guess our plan is to maybe like, I don't even know. Like, what do we even do in this matchup? There's a Shaymin of fighting Fury Belts. Alright, so Hoopa gonna use Countering Search for 3 EX Pokemon. Maybe he's playing Mega Pidgeot-EX. So Hoopa gonna use Countering Search for 3 EX Pokemon. Okay. How does this match go if that's the case? Alright, so there's a Pidgeot-Audino. Ooh, fancy. I don't know what's happening all of a sudden. Alright, so Pidgeot-Audino and a Shaymin. Okay, so Pidgeot. We see, Audino could actually, he does, okay, it is Mega Pidgeot, which I think is okay, I don't know, like, I don't know how these matchups go, but Shaymin, going to set up, okay, so at least it's not the mirror match like I thought, so going to Shaymin set up for 30 cards. Alright, so, we got a Metal Energy, a Audino Spearling, Audino, Mr. Mindset's going to protect us a lot, so put a Metal Energy on this guy, we'll put down Faded Town. I'm going to fight throughout the Mr. Mime, which I know is like really crazy, but I want to draw more cards with the Shaymin. So we're going to Shaymin, set up for 3 new cards, okay. And, there's a Trainers Mail. Can we find an Ultra Ball? And there's an Ultra Ball, which is fantastic. So with this Ultra Ball, I'm going to discard the Lysandre and Faded Town to grab a Hoopa. Hopefully Hoopa is in the deck, and there's a Hoopa, which is fantastic. And with this Hoopa, we'll search out 3 Pidgeot-EXs. Now, what's scary, we'll grab 2 in a Shaymin. What's scary is that we'll have multiple Shaymins on the bench for our opponent to Lysandre up for a knockout, which is obviously not good. Like, you want to make sure that your Pidgeots are getting hit. So put down Pidgeot. We'll put down Pidgeot. We could just retreat and pass and see what our opponent does first, knowing that we have a Shaymin in our hand, which I think is better. So we'll retreat, pass onto our opponent's turn. Alright, so let's see what happens. Like I said, I don't... I mean, if he sets up, like, wants to switch out Pokemon with Mega Pidgeot, I'm definitely just definitely switching between the 2 Mega Pidgeots. And since we have Mr. Mime, that Mega Audino cannot snipe the bench, which is fantastic. And he does have a little bit more HP. So there's an end, that's great. I mean, he knew we had a Shaymin, which maybe is why he played it. I'm not 100% sure. Like, obviously, I'm not my opponent. So we get a Sycamore Ultra Ball, and I'm fine with just sitting right now, letting my opponent get attack off. So Metal Energy going to the active. And does he have a Mega Pidgeot? So Trainers Mail. If he gets a Mega Pidgeot down, it will get started getting smacked for 20 for the Faded Town. There's a Town Map coming down. Alright, so Pidgeot versus Mega Pidgeot. Which one is a better deck? So Town Map, there's Mega Audino, 110, 50 Snipe, and Mirror Move for nothing. Alright, so on to our turn. I think I'm just going to pass right now. Yeah, I'm just gonna pass. I know that seems very strange, but I don't want to discard these resources, nor do I want to hit that Metal Energy right now. Alright, so there's a Trainers Mail. Good look at the top cards of their deck. We're just gonna wait till our opponent attacks us, and then that's when we're going to attack. Alright, so it's each Trainers Mail. Look at the top cards of their deck, and can they find a Mega Pidgeot or another stadium card to put down in place of this Faded Town. So, they receive Ultra Ball, probably most likely grab a Mega Pidgeot, like I said, but can we find a Max Potion? If we find a Max Potion, we can heal this Pidgeot, not take a knockout, but do a ton of damage back to it. So we see Ultra Ball, discarding an Audino and a Spearling to grab a Mega Pidgeot, most likely. And there we go, Mega Pidgeot with a Mock Cyclone, 130, and you may have your opponent switch one of their active with one of their bench. Alright, so a Shrine of Memory is coming down. Alright, so via Seeker forward, and so both get a new hand of 6. He has not played a Juniper? No, he has not. Alright, so both get a new hand of 6. Okay. There's, a Max Potion and a Metal Energy, which is fantastic, but he's going to actually smack this guy. And then we have to switch. Oh, man. Alright, so we have to switch. No, you may have your opponent switch. Alright, that's fantastic. So we'll put a Max Potion in the active. We will Metal Energy. And we will mirror move. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to 130 back to him. Unfortunately, we can't make him switch, but no to our opponent's turn to see what's going to happen. Does he find a Lysandre or not? He could bring up the Shaymin and make it irrelevant that we did that, but if he does do that, we can find a DC. There's a Winona. Going to search for 3 Colorless Pokemon, which get Mega Audino and Mega Pidgeot. And if he licenses or Shaymin, we can DC the active, go for a Featherland. So he's going to hit us back for 130. And are we going to switch? And we are going to switch. Okay, so I want to bring up the Pidgeot-EX. Okay. But we have an energy we can treat and hit that's got mirror move for knockout. There's a Trainers Mail. We'll play that. And can we find a Max Potion? Ooh, double puzzle. I don't know if puzzle's actually going to help us right now because we really need to find a Float Stone. So we're going to double puzzle. Okay. How do we do this? So a double puzzle. Okay, we'll put 2 cards from discard pile back in our hand. We'll grab a Max Potion and a Faded Town, okay? So we will Max Potion the Pidgeot-EX. Put down a Faded Town. Okay. Metal Energy this guy, and we will Sycamore discard our hand, draw 7 cards. We're looking for a Float Stone for this Pidgeot, and no, we don't have one yet. We'll Trainers Mail, look at top cards of our deck, and no, we do not have one. Alright, so we'll grab a Fighting for real. Put it on the active Pidgeot, and we're just going to press done onto our opponent's turn. Going to hit for 20. And what we could do next turn is, if he switches out, we can use that Featherlance for a knockout, because it has 70 HP left, which is fantastic. We just got to find a DC, which shouldn't be too hard. We do have an end next turn. We also have Olympia as well if we want to pull that combo off, which doesn't seem like a bad play either, but then he can knock us out. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, he can knock us out the following turn with this Pidgeot-EX. So there's a Mega Pidgeot-EX coming back online. Okay. Does he have, okay, another Mega Audino. I wonder why he didn't evolve those 2 last turn. We do have Faded Town, so both those guys will start getting smacked for 20, which is fantastic, unless he can bump our Faded Town. Audino Spearling going to that guy, okay, and Sycamore going to discard the hand, draw 7 cards. He is digging for another Shrine of Memories, or some kind of support stative card, I imagine. Those Faded Towns are going to start hitting his Megas for a ton of damage, which is fantastic, and there's a Perilous City. He's actually going to put us down to 3, which I actually am fine with that. We'll discard a Shaymin. I don't care about that too much. Like I said, he does, you know, we're okay. So Mock Cyclone for 130, and we'll send a Pidgeot, okay? So onto our turn, we get a Trainers Mail. So play Trainers Mail, look at top cards of our deck. So we could grab an Ultra Ball just to thin our deck out. Yeah, so I'm gonna grab Ultra Ball. I'm gonna discard a Sycamore and Winona. Not grab anything and just in. Let's look at our deck real quick. We do have 3 DCs and only 1 Float Stone. So we're in, but we need to find, if we find a DC this turn, we actually take a knockout of the active. So we're in, and can we find a DC or not? And we do not find one, unfortunately. Now what we could do is retreat, take a knockout, but then Mega Audino can hit us for 110. Do we want to risk that or not? Oh, no. Alright, so I'm going to Max Potion the bench, maybe? Put an energy on it so when we mock Cyclones, we can potentially take a knockout. So yeah, we'll Max Potion this guy, put a Metallurgy here, and we will end our turn onto our opponent's turn. Okay, but hopefully we top deck a Puzzle of Time. That'd be fantastic. So we get any 2 cards out of the discard pile, which is definitely going to grab... probably a Faded Town, for sure a Faded Town, just so we can do more damage to his Mega Pokemon, which is great. So we'll see a DC going down to Mega Audino. Alright, and he could hit us for 110, but we hit 110 back, but they receive Mock Cyclone, going to do 130, and we're definitely going to send this Pidgeot-EX, but do we top deck a DC or not? So on to our turn, what do we get? There's a DC, that's a great top deck, so put a DC on this guy. We'll Pokemon study this bench Pidgeot-EX. Now, he does have 100 HP left, so he could get knocked out the following turn, but we are going to Featherlance for the knockout, doing 90 to the active, and let's see, we do 20 damage. Where does that 20 damage matter is my question. We could start smacking this guy, but we can 2-shot it regardless. I'm going to put it on the Mega Pidgeot with 120 HP. I don't know which one's correct play is. So we'll go down to 4 price cards. So 1 and 2. We do take the first knockout. So there's a Ranger and a Float Stone. Okay, so into our opponent's turn. Probably gonna sit we're gonna sit up this guy, okay? But he has a I don't know. Why would you sit that guy up? Does he have free retreat? Oh, he does have free retreat. So that's not a bad idea at all. But do we top deck a Puzzle Time? If we do, we could Max Potion Metal, hit the Mega Audino for 110 again, which is great. Yeah, that could be great play. We have 2 Max Potions. There's a Mega Turbo. Gonna put energy from a discard pile to his Mega Pidgeot, okay. A Metal Energy as well. And I guess we'll see a treat to a Magical Symphony for 110. He cannot hit our bench because that Mr. Mime isn't played, which is fantastic. So we see Magical Symphony for 110, okay. And I mean, hopefully we'll top deck a Puzzle of Time. Okay, there's a VS Seeker. It's not really that good. Alright, so we're going to Float Stone the Hoopa. We're going to VS Seeker for a Pokemon Center Lady. Okay, so I'm a Pokemon Center this bench Pidgeot-EX, okay? And what I'm going to do is hit the active for 110 as well with Mirror Move. Okay, so we hit for 110. Or 120, and that way we can knock it out later on with the Featherlands plus a Parallel City. I mean, a Faded Town. Alright, so their opponents are going to draw a card. They can maybe knock us out with Mock Cyclone or the active Mega Audino. But if they knock us out with the Mega Audino, we can maybe knock them back out if we get a DCE and a Faded Town. So see energy going to that guy. And does he retreat 3 energies into this Pidgeot-EX or not? If he does take a knockout. There's a VS Seeker for an end, which is fantastic. I did not want to discard this Puzzle Time. I want to keep it in our hand as long as possible. And we did accomplish that, which is fantastic. Okay, so we'll both get a new hand. He gets 6 and we get 4. Alright, so let's see, what do we find off these 4 cards? Alright, so Ultra Ball, Fighting for Belt. Okay, so we can Ultra Ball, discard in, and something else for a Pidgeot, via Seeker for Sycamore. So switch into the Pidgeot-EX, and that's not a bad play at all. Alright, so we'll see Mock Cyclone for the knockout, do it 130. My opponent will pick, let's see what he decides to get. Maybe a DCE. And a Super Run, that doesn't seem that bad as well. So send the Pidgeot, of course send the Pidgeot. Alright, and let's see what does he get. Like I said, maybe a DC and a Super Rod, just get those 2 cards back. Get back his energy, stuff like that. It's not a bad thing for sure. And yeah, that's exactly what it's going to grab. Alright, so we go down to 4. Onto our turn, we get a DCE. Okay. So I really do not want to discard I don't want to discard the DCE, so put a Fighting from the active DCE via Seeker for a Sycamore, discard our hand, draw 7 new cards. He cannot knock us off the turn. This Pidgeot does have too much HP. And there's a Faded Town AOR, which is fantastic. So put down Pidgeot. We will put down Faded Town. And we will go for a Featherlands for 90 damage plus a 20, and we'll do 20 damage to this Mega Audino. This 20 damage is going to start stacking because the Faded Town. So 90, 20, there's a 20, and a 20. Alright, so this guy has 60 HP left, and this one has 90 HP, which is fantastic. So let's see, how can my opponent pull this off? Can they make a victory or not? I mean, he has 2 Megas that are very hurt. Now, he could put a Parallel City down on his side to bump both these Pokemon off, which would be devastating, but we could Lysandre Shaymin at any moment to knock it out as well, which is fantastic. Alright, so let's see what's going to happen, guys. How do we play this out? If he Lysandres up somebody, it doesn't really matter too much. Does he find a Parallel City? Does he play his own Max Potion? There's a Super Rod. I'm going to shuffle 3 combination of Pokemon energies back to his deck. And let's see what will win Pidgeot and Mega Audino. I really hope it's us. I mean, we still have 2 more Puzzle Times left in our deck, which is great. We have 2 Max Potions as well. We have plenty of metal and we have plenty of energies. Like, we have everything in our deck ready to go. And it looks like we will take this game. Alright, so Audino, Shaymin, and Pidgeot-EX. Okay, don't care about those too much. And will he end us or not? Now, we only have 10 cards left in our deck, which I think is fine. We should have enough resources to win this game. Alright. And if he does switches out, definitely send it to Hoopa. It does have free retreat now, thanks to that Float Stone. And we can free retreat to the Pidgeot just got hurt. And put a DC on the other one. And take a knock on whoever wants to. So there we see a Ninja Boy. And what is he on a Ninja Boy? The Shaymin maybe into a Pidgeot? Or no, to Audino, okay. And it does have a link, so Ninja Boy is actually going to be really clutch. There's a DC on that guy, okay. And there's a Mock Cyclone doing 130 damage. And both these guys will get snacked for 20 damage. Now, this Audino will actually get knocked out, come back into our turn if he does not replace it. So there's an in. So I think our plan is to DC this guy and end our opponent down to 4. We can then take a knockout on this guy, which is fantastic. So there we go. He'll get 4. He'll get 4 as well. Maybe I don't know. We'll see what he gets out those 4. Maybe it's bad. Maybe it's good. We will retreat into the Pidgeot, and we will use the mirror move. Okay, so there we go. Doing 140 damage. Taking a knockout, going to 2 prize cards. So 1 and 2. Okay, so DC and a Magearna, so we can potentially knock out any. We could do 90 damage with, or 80 damage with Feather Lance to knock out the Mega Audino. And does my opponent bump the stadium or not? If he does not bump this Faded Town, we'll win. That Mega Audino will get knocked out thanks to Faded Town. Alright, so Metal Drink onto that guy. Okay. And do we see a stadium replacement or not? Regardless, we have a DC and a VS Seeker for a Lysandre. There's a Shaymin. Going to set it up for 3 new cards. But like I said, if he does not find, he needs to find a stadium replacement and an in. And there's a Shrine Members coming down. So he will survive for 1 more turn. But if we find a Puzzle of Time, we actually get another Faded Town down to win the game regardless. So let's see what's going to happen. We have so many options. And if we do not win this game, I'll be really surprised. So here comes the Audino. He can do the wave for 60. And then what, 10 more damage for each bench Pokemon, so 70, 80, 90, 100. There's a Hex Mania, I don't care about that at all. So yeah, we win the game. We have a DC VS Seeker for Lysandre, and yeah, we'll take this game, guys. So there's a do the wave for 100 damage. We can send the Pidgeot-EX, Lysandre the Mega Audino, and win the game, guys. There we go. Pidgeot-EX taking the game against the Mega Pidgeot, Mega Audino. And we did take a first game against the Mega Scizor deck. So here we go. Pidgeot-EX onto our turn. What do we get? There's a Max Potion, so we'll DC the active VS Seeker for a Lysandre to bring up that Pidgeot, not the Pidgeot, the Mega Audino, and we will take the game, guys. I guess those snipe damage didn't matter too much. But there we go. We'll go for the Feather Lance for 80 damage. And sure, I guess we could have just sniped this guy. That would have been fine as well. 80 sniped the guy for 20 dub. We didn't even need Lysandre. We just needed energy. And there we go, guys. There's the Pidgeot-EX mirror move deck. It's really fun. I mean, that game, the Mist Mime did save us a lot against that Mega Audino, which could kept sniping our bench. And yeah, guys, that was a lot of fun. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you enjoyed this Pidgeot mirror move deck. I mean, I did not think this deck would actually do well, but hey, it did. But guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Have a great Tuesday. Alrighty, bye. Alright guys, I just want to give a quick shout out to our 3 sponsors, 60 Cards, Yeti Gaming, and the Pokemon Company International. Links to everything will be down below in the description. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Alrighty.